start with me.
Josh, just what have you seen from Missouri's defensive front, and how critical is it that the offensive line for you guys gets back to playing like they were pre-Georgia?
Yeah, you can't do things that hurt yourself in this ball game for sure. The physicality, they play vertical on the line of scrimmage, loaded boxes on tape. We have to be physical. Our combinations got to be right. Our identifications got to be right. That's going to be absolutely critical in this football game. Tight ends got to do a great job of it as well. They're always a part of the run game when we're in 11 personnel sets, and then I think our running backs got to be extremely physical in this football game too. They're much improved on the defensive side of the football. You just look at them statistically. You look how the games have played out. The last 2/3 of the season, the video that you see on tape. It's a group, and I'm talking about their unit, that continues to get better and more comfortable in year one. With a new defense coordinator.
Vince and Austin.
What about Missouri's offense? I know at times they've had some inconsistencies, but what do you see coming into this game and how they're playing on offense?
I think they're getting better. Their quarterbacks playing with more confidence. You got to do a great job with all the eye candy, the window dressing that they do, motions, and within their run game. If you don't have great eye discipline, all of a sudden you'll be out of a gap, and they have an opportunity to create a really big play. So for us, again, I was just talking about us on the offensive side, the line of scrimmage is going to be really important in this football game. They got really good skill players out on the perimeter too. They're athletic, they got speed, they're dynamic with the ball in their hands. You got to do a great job of tackling in space, and if you can get them in the third down, then we got to do a great job of applying pressure to the quarterback.
Josh, when Danny was able to endorse Spire last week, how much added value have they given all athletic programs on campus, but specifically football, and how vital is what they do, and how important is it fans really take, kind of notice of those type of things?
Yeah, NIL is a huge part of the landscape now, and from the moment that the law changed, the rulings changed, you've heard me say how important it is, as a player, a former player, the opportunities that I would have been afforded. I think our players have handled it in a really positive way. Can't underestimate at all the importance that Spire has had in providing those our players opportunities, and it's life-changing for them, and it's a huge part of the success as we continue down this road as a program. That's a huge part of it, and I think we're uniquely situated. The Power T, this fan base, the city that is Knoxville, the opportunities that can and are afforded to our players. To me, this is the number one destination when it comes to NIL opportunities, and you can see it, as we've grown as a program, the power and opportunities that have been provided with our current roster here, and how they've had an opportunity to grow their image, and Spire Sports, their ability to help our players, what they've been able to do, but what they will continue to do. That's a huge part of the success, and they've done a phenomenal job.
Josh, I know y'all have had fast starts in a lot of games the past couple of years, but it seems like in particular those noon games, y'all have gotten off to really good starts, and some teams don't necessarily get going great in earlier games. Is it the morning practices that help y'all? Is it something you're doing in the morning? What's gone into that?
I don't. I've been other places where you didn't practice in the morning, and early kickoffs, 11 o'clock Central, you would be able to start fast too. Certainly practicing in the morning, it's a normal routine for our guys, kind of as far as the wake up and getting ready to go play. As much as anything, it's operating extremely efficient, and when we haven't played at our best, not all the time. You play good teams that are going to make plays too, but a lot of it's self-induced, and so we got to limit the mistakes that we make and go out and play extremely aggressive. It starts really fast in this one. That's awesome. You got to keep your foot down on the pedal. If it doesn't, that's okay too. You got to reset and regroup and do a better job of it than we did a week ago.
Josh, I think it was last night on your call-in show that in talking about the senior class, you said you'd learned a lot from them. What are some of the things that you've taken from this group, having worked with them over the last couple of years?
Like at the beginning of the week, you guys kind of questioned this group, how would they respond to it? You just look at all of the obstacles, the hurdles that this group has gone through. It tells you about their resiliency, their ability to grow and focus, to take correction, just the DNA of who each of them are and how they've responded to anything that's been thrown at them. And however long it's been now, 20 months or whatever that I've been here, and the ability to see them grow. There's so much that is inside of our building because of who these guys are, and it's a class that I'll remember forever. But a group of guys that accepted me, accepted our staff, and allowed us to get off and running really quickly.
In the back here, what's Jabari Small's status after injuring his hand on last Saturday?
Jabari's been with us all week, and he'll be ready to go.
Where's Dylan Sampson in his development to try to get back on the field? I know he's in there late a little bit last week, but I'm sure having a third back option during the game would help.
Yes, sometimes just how the game unfolds dictates whether or not a younger guy gets in, and we got great trust and confidence in him. And as a young player, I do believe he gets better every single week, and all the things that it takes to play that position at a really high level. He's in the ball game. We're not going to do anything differently. Not going to call it differently. We've got great trust in him.
Josh, in particular with the offensive line, that group's been so good for most of the season and had some of those penalties last week and let a couple of blitzes get through. What kind of response have you seen from those guys this week in terms of their desire to sort of wipe that one away and move on?
Talking about our offensive line there, they've been really good in the meeting space and in the building at practice. They're a proud group. Obviously, we didn't play our best football last week. I think they're ready to respond in a really positive way.
Anything else? All right. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.